Welcome to my channel of Mike the Birdman of Minnesota. I hope you're enjoying Adventures of Chris and Mike on my channel. I'm starting a new segment on our 2005 visit to the Grand Portage Fort. I hope you enjoy this glimpse into the Voyagers' experience from the past.
A little about the canoes that the Voyagers took.
Okay, this canoe over my head here is called a Montreal canoe. It's about 40 feet long, constructed entirely of birch bark, cedar, and held together with spruce root lashings. And then all the seams are pitched with a combination of pine pitch, grease, and ground charcoal. So it would have required at least daily maintenance, if not several times during the day. They'd have to unload the canoe and repitch it. They carried a crew of anywhere between 10 to sometimes 16 men and about 4 tons of cargo. And this was the canoe that in the springtime when the ice goes out will be coming from Montreal, bringing not only the owners of the Northwest Company for their big meeting, but also trade goods and supplies to resupply the wintering posts. The other type of canoe that was found here is the North Canoe over here, which is usually between 24 and 26 feet long, carrying a crew of anywhere from 8 to 12 and about 1.5 tons of cargo. These are the canoes that in the springtime when the ice goes out in the interior of Canada are going to be coming back here with the furs they've obtained from the natives over the winter. And once they reach here, the loads are basically switched. These will go back out into the interior carrying the trade goods and supplies they need to continue trading in the winter, and the Montreal canoes will return to Montreal with the furs to be shipped to Europe.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. That was some of the cargo?
Was this the clothes the crewmen would wear or what?
Workmen would wear this kind of thing, but I'm more dressed as a crewman on one of the supply ships that came in here, the Otter or the Athabasca.
Okay.
And then that was like a typical load that's down in the corner down there? Wow.
Yeah, that was actually taken off a historical manifest from one of these Montreal canoes, and we figured out average weights of the guys, and it would have weighed out to 8,100 pounds.
Wow. And then when they came, they pretty much skirted the shores, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stay close to shore. Most of those guys can't swim.
Wow.
And unlike today, they never ran these canoes up onto the ground to unload them. They came into the shallows and jumped out.
Oh.
And then handed the goods by a chain of men to the shore, and then they picked the canoe up and carried it over and turned it over to inspect the seams.
Okay.
Because if you ran one of these into shore, you'd probably split the bow wide open. And the guy up in the front is called the Avant. It's his job to set the pace for the other paddlers and also to keep a lookout for any kind of hazards.
And what did the guy in the rear? There was a guy in the rear too. He
was basically a rudder man.
Okay.
He had a great big paddle that they used like a steering board.
Music by kind permission of Dan Nestor. I hope you've enjoyed our visit to the Grand Portage Fort, and if you would like to see more of this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel.